What up? What up? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we do always start the show by being transparent. And yesterday, I had an absolute disastrous, terrible, however you want to describe it, shitty day. I went 2-8-1. I couldn't even get, man, they just scoring for no reason at the end of that Thunder and Clipper game. We already up by 20, just scoring for no reason. And another one that pissed me off, I had Washington -2.5. I feel like they were winning the whole game. And then it went to overtime, and then you get hooked. So overall, just not a great day for me. We got to do better today. It is tough. I mentioned that it's different for me to handicap um, after a break in the NBA because a lot of what I look at is recent performance. So we'll adjust, but we'll just be mindful of that. Veno, was yesterday better for you at least than it was for me?
Overall, it wasn't better, Skee. I mean, the shining light was that I had not, believe it or not, college basketball is almost a tournament time. I had not had a 4% play in college basketball all season long, all twos and threes. Very, kind of a conservative approach to the season. Yesterday, we talked about it here on the air. I had a 4% with the Ohio State game over, knowing that the coaching switch was going to bring tempo, and that game won rather easily. That was the good news. The bad news was, Utah team total, which we talked about here on the show. I had that pretty big. They did not get to 119. They only got to 107, which is rare for them. So that was down the drain. And I had Lakers Golden State over 242. Got to 238. If you'd have told me ahead of time Golden State was going to get 128, I would have probably made the bet a little bit bigger. I expected more out of the Lakers, but it didn't happen. So like you say, we talked about it yesterday. It's hard coming out of a 4-day, actually a 7-day break, right? 6 or 7-day break, to know exactly what these teams are going to do when they hit the floor again. And there were some definite no-shows, and there were some teams that really did show. So we'll see what today brings.
Yes, sir. We'll talk about it. But before we do, we got guesses in the chat. And we got to see how specific we get in here, Rob. I think we listed a lot of different colors in the chat. And we hear these colors all the time. But the first one that popped up was my guy, KD. He says he bet on light blue. But I think we're a little bit more specific than that. Right, Rob?
We are, because there's like 3 different shades of light blue that we have on that list. So yesterday people were guessing brown, Skee, and I don't think brown is even on the list.
Look at Bryce Brown plus
500. I know you reposted that list a couple of times for them.
Yeah, I'll do it again next week. But yeah, we're specific with the colors, so we can try to we'll make it. I'll post it again. But I think this is the winner. So Munaf. He says, damn, he got lucky because first he said navy blue, but Boofer already put navy blue. So he says, damn you, Boofer, I'll go aqua blue.
Yeah, you might want to share it with Boofer.
So Munaf looks like he's getting some lunch today. Let me know what your Cash App or Venmo is, and then I'll send you $25 so you can enjoy whatever you would like. Appreciate everybody for taking part of that. And No Limit Rich becoming a YouTube member. Appreciate you. I will drop something for my members. Yesterday was terrible. We got to hope to do better here today. So let's get to it here, Rob. I know we have a lot of comments that have come in, but we only have a limited time before you have to bounce out of here. So let's get to a few games. And I thought that we could do it different. We'll do like similar to how I do my System Saturday show. We'll look at the system, the game, and just see if we think it makes sense. You good with that?
I am good with that. Yep.
All right. Yeah, and we're going to do it that way because, like I said, it's different when the NBA teams are right after a break. It's not the recent performance that I usually look at. So, first game up, we will go 525, 526, Atlanta and Toronto. Hawks are now up to 7.5-point favorite from 6, and total looks like 245.5. It went up a half a point, or it went up a full point rather. For Atlanta, Okongwu is going to be out, and for Toronto, you have RJ Barrett, game time decision. So I'm pretty confident that I have something here for this game. and I'll pull it up. So my bad. It's been a while since I shared the screen, but there we go. Boom, boom. Killer Sports. So we'll look at some of these trends I got active there. And you can see this, correct, Vino?
I can.
So it's active on this game. This one goes back to the 2018 season. And it's pretty much saying they had are 27% or less of their points were fast break points. So they weren't scoring in transition, they weren't running, or they weren't scoring in transition. And previous opponent points, they scored less than the amount of points that they scored in their last matchup. And the next game for them is on the road. So it's a lot of qualifiers here, but it does say to take the Raptors. I guess I'll kick it to you first before I say how I feel about it. But what do you think about this query here, and how do you feel about the game?
Yeah, I think obviously 7 with the Hawks is always going to be a big number for them. First thing I look at always with Hawks is total. This one could get to the required 246 here. Skee, Toronto, obviously on back-to-backs. Looked really good offensively last night, right? Blew Brooklyn out. Brooklyn, not much of a defensive team. And for Atlanta, they've allowed 121 or better in 6 of their last 7, 120 or better in 7 of their last 8. So, for Toronto, you could see points coming. But defensively, the Nets just didn't shoot it good last night. I don't think that they will contain the Hawks here in this particular game, home team against unrested road team. So I wouldn't look at it by side just because of the situation Toronto's in the back-to-back with travel. But I probably would look at it total-wise. Didn't play it, but I think I would look over the 246.
Munaf looks like he's agreeing with you on that. He says Raptors allowing 127.6 points per game on back-to-backs on the road. I'm not going to trust this system here. I just think it was a lot of qualifiers, and I'm not mad at the total. I mean, Munaf liking it, you're liking it. I think I just have to sit on the sideline for this one. So good stuff on that game. We'll move right on over, see if we get through a couple more of these. The next one I wanted to talk about here was 529, 530. Washington and OKC opened up 241.5 as a total. We now see 242. Opened up 14.5 point favorites for the Thunder, and it looks like 16 currently. As far as the injury report, nobody's really on there yet. And I will start this one off with another system as well. So let me just get to one here. And this looks like it's a pretty decent one. So, screen share. My bad for the dead time, but it is what it is. It's that kind of a day, system day. So this one goes back to 2016. You're looking at 2 unrested teams. And the total is higher than both of their previous games. It looks like when that happens, the over continues to hit at 72.7% rate, 48, 18, and 4. Says to play these 2 teams up and over the total. I think this is one that I can, get a little bit more to the window with. I don't trust the Wizards to play defense, and I'm not certain that the Thunder are going to be that locked in after their big game yesterday, as far as defensively, when they're looking at the Wizards on the other side. So I think 242 is reasonable. Do you, Vino?
Well, it's definitely reasonable in any Wizards game. Last night it was 240, right? I think 130 to 110 against the Nuggets. I would be looking more towards the dog with 16 here. You were, to start the show, you're talking about Thunder scoring for no reason. I don't know that they'll score for no reason late here this game. It's a back-to-back for both. And generally speaking, back-to-back coming from altitude, I wouldn't be too keen on. But again, as bad as they got blown out last night by Denver, it was by 20. Here you're taking 16 against a team that just made I don't want to call it a statement game. That phrase is overused, but an important game at home for Oklahoma City to establish themselves as a legit contender. To win by 17, I mean, they could do it, but it's not really necessary. And prior to that game last night, the Wizards, I think we listed them off yesterday, Skee. They had covered 4 of their last 5, and all 4 were as double-digit dogs against playoff teams. Yesterday it didn't work, but today it just might. So I would be more inclined to play the underdog here, plus the big price tag, thinking that Oklahoma City probably, unlike last night, lets off the gas pedal.
And Wizards are a great road team. I believe they're 18, a road dog. They're 18, and they're probably always dogs on the road anyway. But 18, 9, and 2 ATS is what I think they are. So I'm not mad at that. Not mad at that at all. I agree with what Munaf said though about don't like the vibes that as far as like Poole complaining he's coming off the bench, et cetera, et cetera. But I wouldn't be laying these points with the Thunder. I would only look at the Wizards or the over. So let's keep going here, Rob. Let's see if we can get to a few more. We have the Clippers and the Grizzlies. Opened up -9, hasn't really moved. Total open 223.5, and looks like it's down to 220, as low as 221.5. For the injury report, I mean, laundry list for this Memphis team per usual. And the Clippers, they still have time to put people on there, but there's nobody on there yet. So let me just get to the system here. And this one, I don't think actually I'm not even gonna put this one up on the screen, man, because I don't think I care too much about it. And you probably won't care too much about it either. But it's saying that we should play the Clippers. I don't know if I really agree with that there, Rob. First of all, just because they're off of a big game yesterday. I know they got beat, but Grizzlies, they are more rested. They're at home, and those guys they're gonna play defense. It's gonna be gritty. So I wouldn't be laying with the Clippers on the road. I would lean more towards the Grizzlies. How do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's another one of those situations, Ski, where you think that the favorite, at least in my case, I think the favorite's going to win, but can they win by that size margin? I think for me, I'd probably in this game be more apt to go under the number, under the total here, thinking Clippers defensively last night were not good. They're not, I don't feel like they're going to lose back-to-backs. They're in that log jam in the Western Conference. You got to win the winnables, and this is one of those. Doesn't mean you have to win by more than 10, but it does mean that the defense might show up here. And you would probably like it a little better if, in fact, that injury list does show up with a couple of guys later on in the day that score points for the Clippers. But then the total will go down, so you got to try and be proactive if you like it. I think I would like under here. And one more thing real quick, and I don't know if it's going to come into play here or not. But right before the break, when Memphis took this lineup out there and beat the Bucks as a double-digit dog, right? And the Bucks have caught nothing but heat. It was brought to everybody's attention nationally that, oh my God, how did they lose to that scrap heap of players? And for LA, it probably is in the back of your mind here. We can't take them too light. So I would say defense and the fact that the Memphis Grizzlies aren't that great of a shooting team probably leads you to less than 221.5 in this game. What's the current total there? I just want to check real quick, make sure I'm on it.
221.5 is, I mean, it's going up to 222 though, but
yeah, okay, so it opened 223.5, missed the boat a little bit there. Now it's 222. I would think under is the right play here. The Clippers probably win. Don't want to trust them to lay it, much like what you said. But I would see this game being a little bit lower scoring. I think the Clippers, after giving up 127 last night, don't do the same here today.
all right, we'll move on over to this game. Is no system really either, but I was interested, so I wanted to talk about it. 535, 536, Milwaukee and Minnesota opened up Wolves -4.5, 4 or 4.5, depending where you shop. Total has gone up 2 points to 225.5. Only see Clark out for the Wolves. For the Bucks, though, Giannis is probable along with Connaughton and Gallinari. Middleton remains out. So, Rob, I'm not a believer really in this Bucks team. I haven't been all year, and the Timberwolves, I'm liking what I'm seeing from them. The one thing is consistent with them is they play defense, and they've only lost 5 games at home. I think they're the more trustworthy team here, and I would only lay the 4.5. How do you feel about this game?
Somewhat of quick revenge because Minnesota destroyed these guys 129-105 last night. Because my first reaction when I saw this game, Ski, was I should be playing under. Milwaukee's way more focused on trying to be good defensively. They've become bad offensively because of it. when you watch them, when I watched them against Memphis, there's a lot of one-on-one play out of Damian Lillard, like just chucking the basketball up. It didn't look good offensively for them. And of course, Minnesota is a great defensive team. So to me, those pieces add up to under this particular number, but the money has played it up and over a little bit more, right? It's raised 2 points. Generally speaking, you would trust the Bucks in a revenge spot, but you can't. I don't know that you can trust them here. I do like, everybody has probably seen the Giannis interview by now. I do. He is one player that I put in that bracket with, like underneath, a little underneath Jimmy Butler, that when they talk, I believe they mean everything they're saying. And his talk was, this team has to work much harder and get things right. So I think Milwaukee's second half will work harder. Whether or not it results in wins, I'm not sure. And it's funny to me, this is off subject because it has nothing to do with handicapping the game, I don't think. But it's just funny to me how defensive at this point in time Glenn Rivers is about the 3-7 start to his tenure here with the Bucks. And even yesterday talking about how there were other teams interested in him. He just happened to pick this one. I mean, the guy's comical. The leadership of Giannis, though, I think if the Bucks are going to be a different team, it comes from him, not from the head coach. I kind of like Minnesota still. They're the better defensive team. They're better offensively. The revenge angle scares me a little bit, but it's probably not enough points with Milwaukee to get me to take them. I think under 225.5 might be right here.
Under 225. Interesting. There's a few good points in the chat here. Let me see if I can pull them back up. San Antonio Springs thinks they're due for a big TV win. And tomorrow says revenge game. T-Wolves blew out the Bucks in Milwaukee and Bucks off a double-digit favorite loss to the Grizzlies. Thinks they're going to be extremely focused for that game. And that's not something that I really want to go against when I have a team that's really motivated. So I might end up staying off of this one. Joshua Alexander says the trends and stats, etc., don't always work. It's all situational spots. Trends are nothing but stats. Stats don't equal winning bets. Neither does I'm not a big believer in just only doing that either. But no way you bet is going to work all the time. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what you're even saying here, Josh. And I'll just mention that I had a really good season last year doing a lot of these situational spots. So do whatever you like, brother. We got about 5 minutes left here, Rob, before I know you got to skate. I think we can fit one more game in here. And I'll let you choose between these ones. Hornets, Warriors, Heat, Pelicans. Which one of those two do you think you prefer to talk about?
Well, I would probably prefer to talk about Warriors and Hornets just because I think that game's going over the total. Golden State has just shown that's who they are right now. They're an up and down team. They're going to score points. Charlotte's in back-to-backs coming out of altitude in Utah last night. I can't believe that their defense will be anywhere near as good as it was last night. Some of that could be attributed to Utah poor shooting. Some of that could be attributed to Charlotte having rest and coming out of the break with a nice mindset. You talked about it yesterday, how Charlotte, appears to at least care after the trade deadline a little bit. But I don't see them stopping Golden State here. I mean, Golden State's going to find their way again, I think, to probably 125. How Steve Kerr handles the minutes could be interesting in a back-to-back, but Golden State's not in the business of I don't want to call it load management, but shortening up minutes where they're at in the standings. They have to win games, right? So I think this is probably a high-scoring game. 228.5 to me seem low. I could put this game somewhere in the like 125, 112 range, something like that, which puts it way over the number. And so that's the way I would play that game. I think that would be, to me, that's a more favorable look than anything involving Miami, New Orleans, although very quickly, Miami is rested against a back-to-back opponent here, so maybe Miami's a look as well. But I'll try Charlotte Golden State over the number.
I kind of think, and I get Golden State's been playing really well, but I kind of lean towards the Hornets. Let's see, tomorrow says Golden State letdown spot, look ahead spot to the Nuggets next game. And also, People were laughing at me yesterday. I'm not sure if it was the show with you, Rob, or the show I did later, but I said it. The Grant Williams effect, the Grant
Yeah.
Williams, whatever you want to call it. They won every game since he's been over there, and they've all been as an underdog. So they're playing good basketball, and I just think this may be a little bit too many points for the Warriors. So slight lean towards the Hornets. We'll see if I can get to the window with it. I know you got to bounce in a couple, Vino. Appreciate you joining with me. Was there anything you'd like to promote before you do go? And did you want to drop a best bet?
Yeah, real quick. Where I take off to every Friday is the Wager Talk College Basketball Show. So for those of you later on in the day, these shows are archived. Just hit YouTube, Wager Talk TV channel, and you can watch the college basketball show that I'm going to go over and do now. Maybe get some advice if you're looking for college hoop plays tonight. And once again, if you're not a member of wagertalk.com yet, just go ahead and drop your email address and get instant access for free to all the video and written content they provide each and every day. If you like selection packages, mine are available over there at wagertalk.com. For tonight's Skee, I think the game I like the best, and I'm going to preface this by saying it's 2:00 here East Coast time, and I haven't made an NBA play yet. I will probably make a couple, but I haven't made one yet. I think the first one I'm going to make is Phoenix off of that loss last night to Dallas. Going to go play Houston. What Houston does, Phoenix does better. Again, these teams that are in that logjam in the Western Conference, I know that the previous comment talked about a Golden State letdown. I don't think these teams can afford letdowns at this point in time. I think you have to win any game that's winnable. And for Phoenix off of the loss last night to Dallas, I think that's what they'll do. Haven't checked the most recent injury report to see if Bradley Beal's in, Bradley Beal's out. But I'm going to assume Bradley Beal plays this second of back-to-back and take Phoenix -4 over Houston.
All right, good stuff. I appreciate you jumping in, and I'll talk to you again next week.
All right, buddy. Have a good weekend. Chat room, good luck this weekend. We'll see you next week.
And I should have told him. I just now saw. I saw a little late there, Vino. He said, "Thanks for wearing that aqua blue today, Mr. Vino." Getting off a little extra for his bankroll or for lunch. There was one other game I wanted to mention, and that was, what was it? Heat. See if I can get here. Heat Pelicans. So let me pull up what I had here. And I think whatever I had here was active on another game, and I looked over it. And I'll talk about them both really quick. So bear with me for a second. Let me just find that system, and there it is. And this one is pretty easy to explain, and one that I do trust. Let's just see if we can back them for today's games. So let me get the screen share. Boom, boom. Killer Sports. You guys should be able to see this. So what this system is saying, you're looking at a team that played back-to-back overs. They had back-to-back games with 30 plus assists, and they're in a non-conference game. And let's see, it was either they're on a back-to-back or they're on the front end of a back-to-back here. So they don't really probably care a whole lot about playing defense. That's kind of my thought process with this one. So team that's playing well offensively, they're sharing the ball. They've had a couple overs, non-conference games, so it's not that important for both teams. They either are on a back-to-back or play tomorrow, so they don't really care extremely much about defense that night for the entire game. 49, 28, and 2 to the over, 63.6%. And it's on 2 games today. That same Wizards and Thunder game that we mentioned earlier with the other system that was on that same over. So I like that. And then this Pelicans and Heat game that we're talking about right now. So I like the way this system, I put it in there for a reason. When teams start sharing the ball like that, it just creates for good offense. And it usually, I like to back it until they fall off. So I'm looking for the injury report here for Miami. I see Hero is game time decision. Duncan Robinson, game time decision. They'll be without Josh Richardson and Rozier. So you could be missing a whole lot of scoring and a whole lot of lack of defense for this Miami team. That's something I don't like for this one. For the Pelicans, Ingram, game time decision. So is Zion, and then Dyson Daniels is out. So this is one where the total dipped. It opened 223, down all the way to 218 and a half. I need more information. I really want those guys in. I do not want to be in a position where I bet the over. Hero and Robinson both get ruled out. Ingram and Zion are out, and the total continues to plummet. So for those reasons, I will wait and see. But at the end of the day, if everybody looks like it's going to be a go, I would trust it. I'll be willing to go over the 219 and a half. So I will mark it down here on my short list. But like I said, I'm going to just take a look at the injury report throughout the day, and make sure we got the people we want out there for this bet. Let me take a look at the chat. See how you guys feel about it. Boom, boom, boom. I messed up the chat. Tomorrow says, give me the Heat. I swear to God, this is the last Heat game I bet if they don't cover. Oh my God. Hey, now that was funny though. I lean the Heat. I'm not gonna lie. I lean the Heat today, but I just couldn't push confirm. So I wish you luck on that one tomorrow. Dan liking those overlooks. Joshua says the look at spots are narratives people create in their head. I disagree. I personally know a couple NBA players or people who played in the NBA before, and they will tell you differently. So I trust their opinion more than what you're saying here, Josh. Let's see. J Money 029 likes the Heat. He says I think Butler locks in tonight, but they need Hero in there. Let's see a couple more. He says, okay, continue to be great. Only passing knowledge, not here to argue, make your money. I'm not arguing either. I'm the same way. And we can all disagree, and it's okay. And there's no hostility from me. I kind of just talk aggressive if you think I'm being hostile. That's just how I talk. Let's see. Main A says, I think Ingram goes. His props are listed also. Link says he likes the over if the situation goes in the manner he shared. I didn't see what he shared there. So did I miss it? Trying to scroll up really quick without going too far in the show, and I don't see it. So not sure what you shared there, Link. And I'm sorry that I missed it. What up, AOD? Manzy Man dropping his best bet early. Oh, manner I shared. He likes the over if the situation goes in the manner I shared. Okay, I agree. All right, that is really the games that I was looking at in the NBA. So with that said, two things. One, I I haven't done it in a while, but a quick story time because I remembered that I forgot to shout out everybody's best bets, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. But two, I mean, I just want to hear you guys' opinion because I want the show to be good for everybody. But do you like when the shows like maybe miss a couple games? It's a shorter show, doing it that way, or do you guys prefer that we talk about every single game for the day? Just curious what you guys' opinions are. And while you guys let me know that, why I didn't have anybody's best bets in the beginning of the show, man, if you would have seen how pissed off I was, I mean, for one, the hardest thing to do is to come on a show and tell everybody how terrible you did yesterday. So, I mean, that's already hard. I was feeling this way at the casino. I told you guys, I bet every single game. You guys see me on here making the bets, pausing to make certain bets. So I'm at the casino. When I sent out a tweet and said it's looking like a disastrous day. I was getting ready to walk out, and I just was like, man, I can't even. I just needed another shot of tequila. I needed a couple more shots of tequila. I needed a lot more tequila to get through the night. So it was a rough night for myself, and it just wasn't normal for me. So I apologize, not going through everybody's best bets, giving you guys the credit that you deserve, but it was just a tough night for me all around, and that's all I can say. So let's see you guys' opinion before we get to best bets. Tomorrow says all the games. SCT likes all the games. Terry says certain games. Manny says full slate of Sacramento. I don't like talking about Sacramento either. Everybody likes going through the card. Yeah, okay. We'll do it like we always do. We'll continue to go through the entire card. It's a little bit different cap in the day. Between what I told you in the story time and we don't have the recent performance stats, that's why I did it like this today. And S. Warrior says, Skee, is your Discord up and running? Absolutely. Absolutely. And Josh says, Skee, you in Vegas? I'll be up in Green Valley Casino all the time. I do live in Vegas. I live by the strip. I haven't been to Green Valley in a while since probably, when they stopped shutting down, when they shut down the buffets for COVID, because I like the Green Valley buffet, or at least I used to. And he says, what sports book you be at? You can catch me most times at the Westgate. So it's about that time. We'll move on over to best bets. And if you're new, I mean, you guys, if you're here, if you've been here, you already know what to do. But 3 rules for the people that are new. Everybody will drop their best bet. You put best bet in front of it. You put the line or the number that you're getting, and no more than 2 best bets, please. So with that said, I'll let you guys start putting them in the chat while I just double check mine and make sure I can get the best of the number. I'm actually going to put it in now because I didn't make any bets yet. So let me log in here, make sure I can get a good number, do a little line shopping here. I think it's pretty flat everywhere anyway. Curious what you guys like. Today is a tough day. Tough day in the association. Logged in, and where is my game? There it is. We'll rock with that. And my app is tripping. I am gonna make this bet. I don't think I have to rush to plug it in, but oh, there we go. Let me make sure it didn't make it twice. Yeah, it made it. They tried to get me. They tried to get me for a double best bet. All right, let's see what you guys are liking before I share mine. Shout out to Tomorrow becoming a member. I appreciate you 100%. Lauren says his best bet is TP. It was a whole lot of that yesterday. I don't think it'll be too much today. Let's see. Chappie Funk likes the Warriors third quarter, specifically -3.5. Otto going with the Bucks +4.5, sprinkling on that money line as well. Tomorrow likes the Lakers -8.5. I had to think about that twice. Like Lakers laying 8.5. Bucks +4.5. Let's see. Main A likes Conley over 6.5 assists. Munoz likes the Hawks team total over. Joshua going with the Hawks -7. Brian likes the Cavs -4.5. Our guy Estot going with Heat money line and Butler over 21.5 points. Is that together or separate? That's what I would like to know there, Estot. Together or separate? Deontez says Chet Holmgreen to have over 2.5 blocks. And Dan going with, he's not following the rules, but he's going with the Timberwolves first half. Not sure what number you're getting there. So appreciate all you guys sharing. If you guys are watching the replay, you can see the live chat, and it makes me laugh because somebody hit me up yesterday. I'm not gonna blast them out, but they're like, I'm watching. I still can't figure out how to get the live chat replay. I'm like, yeah, because you're not listening. I say it every single day. But anyway, the live chat replay is available. You go to where it says comments on your phone. You just swipe over, and you should be able to click live chat replay, and you should be able to see it as the show goes on your computer. It should be in the top right corner. So, best bet for myself, only bet I've made so far today, I will go with, the 2 systems that align. The one with the team having 30 plus assists on back-to-back games and going over that system. And then I forget the other one, but there was another one that I said I trusted. All lined up. Washington, OKC over the 242. That is what I'll rock with today. And appreciate all of you guys for rocking with me. Like I always say, it's the best chat in the game. I appreciate you all 1,000%. It is Friday. I do have to travel and help some family, so I don't think I'll do any Saturday or any kind of shows like that. I'll see you guys on Monday. Best of luck if you tell. Good luck on all of your action, and I'll catch y'all then.